The Life and Legacy of George Washington. Today on History Recolored. The journey of George Washington. The man. The history. The life. Today on History Recolored. This documentary explores the life of George Washington from his early years in Virginia to his pivotal role as the leader of the Continental Army and the first President of the United States, highlighting his significant contributions and enduring legacy. He was the man who shaped a nation, a leader, a warrior, a visionary. Today, we step into the past to explore the extraordinary life of George Washington, recolored and brought to life like never before. Here is a generated portrait of a young George Washington. Colorized images of colonial Virginia, Washington's childhood home. Born in 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia, young George Washington grew up in a world shaped by British rule. His father's early death left him without a formal education, but that did not stop him from rising to greatness. At just 16, he was already a skilled surveyor, mapping out the lands of the American frontier. Here is Washington as a young man in military uniform. Here are colorized battle scenes from the French and Indian War, Washington leading troops. A young Washington soon found himself on the battlefield. He gained his first taste of military leadership during the French and Indian War, proving his courage in battle. Though he faced setbacks, his leadership skills and resilience laid the foundation for what was to come. Dramatic shot of Washington surviving gunfire on horseback. Visual, the Continental Army, Washington crossing the Delaware in color. Sire, in 1775, with the American colonies on the brink of revolution, Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Through brutal winters, impossible odds, and the weight of a nation on his shoulders, he led the fight for American independence. The iconic crossing of the Delaware in 1776 marked a turning point, proving his strategic brilliance. Footage of Valley Forge winter camp, soldiers struggling, Washington rallying his troops. Visual, Washington being sworn in, leading the young republic. In 1789, America needed a leader, and there was no one more suited for the role. As the first president of the United States, Washington laid the foundations of democracy. His presidency was filled with defining moments that shaped the future of the nation. Key achievements of Washington's presidency. Understanding that he couldn't govern alone, Washington established the first cabinet, choosing key advisors like Alexander Hamilton as Secretary of the Treasury and Thomas Jefferson as Secretary of State. Their debates over government power would shape the nation's political landscape for generations. Visual, recolored depictions of early cabinet meetings, Washington listening attentively. Visual U.S. Treasury, early American currency, Hamilton presenting his plan. Wow, one of the greatest challenges of Washington's presidency was stabilizing the fragile economy. With the help of Alexander Hamilton, he established a national banking system, created tariffs to fund the government, and helped set the stage for American financial independence. Visual, colorized illustrations of farmers protesting, soldiers marching to Pennsylvania. In 1791, Washington's government introduced a tax on whiskey, sparking a rebellion among farmers in Pennsylvania. Unlike the British monarchy, Washington handled the crisis differently. He led federal troops himself to peacefully suppress the rebellion, proving that the new government could enforce its laws while maintaining order. Transition to Washington on horseback, leading troops. Visual, Washington signing the Proclamation of Neutrality, European battle scenes. The 1790s saw rising tensions between Britain and France. Many Americans wanted to take sides, but Washington prioritized stability. In 1793, he issued the Proclamation of Neutrality, keeping America out of European wars and focusing on building a strong, independent nation. Visual, Washington writing his farewell address, text overlay of key phrases. After 2 terms, Washington voluntarily stepped down, setting a precedent that lasted until Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency. In his famous farewell address, He warned against political divisions, foreign entanglements, and excessive government power, words that still resonate today. Slow pan across the words of his farewell address. Visual Washington at Mount Vernon, colorized images of his final days. After leaving office, Washington retired to Mount Vernon, where he spent his final years overseeing his estate. In December 1799, he fell ill and passed away at the age of 77. The nation mourned the loss of its founding father, but his legacy lives on in the very fabric of the United States. Montage of statues, paintings, and monuments dedicated to Washington. George Washington was more than just a man. He was a symbol of perseverance, leadership, and the American spirit. Without him, the nation we know today would not exist. What do you think was Washington's greatest achievement? Let us know in the comments below. If you love history brought to life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more episodes of History Recolored. History Recolored, to George Washington, huge founding fathers. Visual, slow pan over Mount Rushmore, Washington, D.C. monuments, and historical documents. Subscribe for more History Recolored. Thank you.